Brooklyn Center High School. It is 12 sports coverage of boys high school basketball. And tonight it's the Brooklyn Center Centaurs hosting the Cristo Jesuit School out of Minneapolis. Hi and welcome everybody. Along with Ryan Iverson, I'm Joe Molina. Tonight, a non-traditional matchup of two teams that have faced each other the last 3 years, and they both look forward to this matchup because of the talent that's on the court. But it's a small private school in Minneapolis, only 8 years old, against a very old high school in this small community playing small town basketball just minutes away from Minneapolis.
Yeah, it's kind of an unusual circumstances, if you will, but if you strip away all those kind of weird circumstances, you got a lot of athletes tonight playing, and it's going to be a really good basketball game. We have a couple of guys that are getting very highly recruited at the highest level of Division I basketball. We're just watching the warm-up lines. Everyone's dunking, so I'm actually really looking forward to this tonight, Joe.
For Brooklyn Center, they're the home team tonight, and they come into this game a 4-2 record, a solid record. Their only losses, very respectable losses. Park Center, a loss of Park Center, obviously a rival, but a team that's much bigger in enrollment, and a team that's off to a good start this year. And then also lost to Minneapolis North, obviously a great history, and one of the top teams in Class A.
Well, they are the top team in Class A, and there's a lot of talent on that North team. So yeah, those two blemishes on the record, nothing to just shake your head about. This is a very good basketball team. They don't get a lot of publicity. Schools in the area, if you will, but they're a very good basketball team. And like I said, you strip all that down, when you got just good, solid athletes. We've got a chance to talk to both coaches, very well coached, and I really expect high-level basketball tonight.
For Cristo Rey, as I said, it's a school that's only 8 years old, and they have a basketball coach that's been here now 4 years, so he's really trying to build a program, and he's got them into the playoffs the last couple of years where they've got a couple of wins. He's got a team that he's pretty confident here this year about, and they started off with a 6-0 record, lost their first game in their last contest, but a 6-1 start. Nice start for them.
And again, they lost to Heritage Christian Academy, who we've gotten a chance to see here on Channel 12 this fall. So they're a good basketball team too, and you know, you got to play. They're playing up a class tonight, and we were talking to Coach, and he said we got to know where we fit. So we're going to play tough schedule, and if we lose, that's okay because we're going to learn a lot about our team. And he thinks they can make a run at it in Class 1 this year.
Ryan mentioned the talent on the floor. Let's talk about that talent now. Our featured players tonight, starting with Cristo Rey. You got Jericho Sims, one of the most talented juniors in the state of Minnesota. He's a big man, and we're here to watch him tonight.
Well, you know, you see a lot of times, Joe, they'll say 6'9" in the program. We got out here. He's every bit 6'9", and not only is he 6'9", but he's long, he's lengthy, very athletic. He can score in a variety of ways. He's got nice touch, so he can step out to that 15-foot range, but otherwise he's just athletic. He attacks the rim with wild abandon. He's fun to watch, and he's gonna have to be great tonight for them to have a chance to win.
On the opposite end is Landon Kirkwood. He's been a player that's been fantastic for the Centaurs all year. He's got double figures every game except for one, but he's a very talented player as well.
The only difference, he's a 6'4" center, so not quite that height, but he's just one of those, he's a gamer. He knows how to score. They will go down to him in the post, but he gets a lot of buckets on offensive rebounding, screen and roll. He can shoot as well. That's going to be an interesting matchup. I think the key in tonight's game is how is Brooklyn Center going to defend Cristo Rey? How are they going to defend the big guy Sims when he gets the ball? Will they double him? Do they do a box and one? That type of stuff. That's going to be the interesting key here tonight.
It's the Centaurs and the Pumas. It's going to be exciting basketball action, and we're going to tip it off next on 12 Sports.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
Welcome back to Brooklyn Center High School, home of the Centaurs, for this non-conference basketball game between them and Cristo Rey Jesuit. Cristo Rey Jesuit, a small private school, 8 years old, out of South Minneapolis. Along with Ryan Iverson, I'm Joe Moline, and we're excited for this matchup here tonight. A lot of talent on the court, and two teams off to great starts this season.
Yeah, 4-2 for Brooklyn Center, and 6-1 for Cristo Rey. And like we talked about in the opening too, Brooklyn Center, I mean, their two losses were really good quality losses.
They lost their season opener against Park Center, 75-66, a very close game. And Minneapolis North, 85-60. Minneapolis North has been blowing people out. Filled with, they have a roster filled with Division I talent. So this is a very, very exciting game as far as individual talent goes.
As they announce the starters here at Brooklyn Center, we take a look now at the starters. That's the starters for the visitors right there. The Pumas from Cristo Rey. Jericho Sims, number 20, the featured player on that team, leading all Puma players in scoring.
Yeah, 6'9", and then again, how are they going to defend? How is Brooklyn Center going to come out and defend? And there's a look at the starters right there for Brooklyn Center. 4-2, Landon Kirkwood, number 21, really the player to watch. He's a 6'4", he's undersized center, but he's a quick leaper. I was watching him in warm-ups too. Very explosive. So it's like I said, individually, you're not going to find a game, I think, in the whole state tonight that would match the athleticism and maybe individual talent. Now it's collectively, how does that come out? And we talked to both of the coaches. Stanley Clay for Cristo Rey said, hey, if we don't turn the ball over, we can play with anybody in the state of Minnesota. So that was one of his concerns, handling pressure, not turning the ball over.
And we mentioned it in an earlier broadcast I did with Ryan in a girls basketball game, but it's worth mentioning again. In terms of boys basketball talent in the state of Minnesota, the Northwest Suburbs has about as good as they can get this year with the talent throughout the state. And we see the opening tip here, and it's going to go to Brooklyn Center, the home team, as they begin the offense. And a three-pointer gets hoisted up right off the beginnings from the wing on the far side. It's actually going to be called a two-pointer from Deshaun Pickford, but he gets the Centaurs on the board.
Yeah, and you can see Brooklyn Center is going to try to get pressure, try to create turnovers. They're able to get one early against Cristo Rey. Cristo Rey's got to handle that pressure, get into the flow of their offense where they can get their big fella the ball.
Big swat inside there. Nice block defensively there for Cristo Rey. Nice defensive effort from Akpati. One of the forwards for Cristo Rey gets up there and blocks the shot. Quick shot there from Kirkwood, his first attempt of the night. Missing short. Cristo Rey will clear the rebound. Lobley goes into the corner. And then a turnover for Cristo Rey. One of the keys is going to be to take care of the basketball for them tonight. Here's Lasai Patterson, an 8th grader starting at the guard position for Brooklyn Center here tonight.
Well, you're going to go through growing pains. When you start 2 8th graders in your backcourt, you're building for the future. They got a lot of talent to be playing as an 8th grader, but you're going to have some ups and downs as far as turnovers, and we've seen that here already. 2 possessions, 2 turnovers.
Second attempt there. This is going to be an air ball fired up there from Akpati. And then an offensive foul. As we take a look at our head coach right there, Coach Stanley Clay. Has Cristo Rey heading in the right direction.
He did. He talked a lot to us, Joe, about building a program. He'd been an assistant here, took over last year as a head coach. They made it to the playoffs. They hosted a playoff game. So he's kind of checking off crossing off the list of accomplishments that he wants his program to sustain excellence, sustain greatness, and he certainly thinks they're in the right direction. There's a lot of talent on the floor, and I'm not quite sure if we had an issue with a jersey.
Yeah, it looks like they had an issue with the undershirt from Lawrence Narcone. So he's now fixed that issue and appears to be good to go. It was like a blue off-colored undershirt, and there must be some kind of, must have to wear white underneath or something.
Yeah, it's got to be the predominant color of the jersey.
All right, so Brooklyn Center will try to extend its 2-0 lead here. That's Kirkwood getting it up top. Oh, he tries to throw the alley-oop as he was looking for Prince. And Prince was going back door, and we do have an injured player on the play. Down went John Williams, one of the talented freshmen for Cristo Rey. Take a look at this play here as Williams hits the deck hard.
Yeah, and that was a design play. Look at the elevation right there. I actually thought that should have been a no call. You have 2 players going up for the ball, and both players were well above the rim. You talk about Williams, the freshman, went up. He challenged that. No easy buckets. And you're going to force a team to go to the free throw line. And I'll tell you what, Devontae Prince, his head was at the rim. Looked kind of like me on my Nerf hoop when I'm at home playing. Very similar.
Prince got up, no doubt about that.
I'm going to tell you what, if there was a high school warm-up line competition, Brooklyn Center would win that hands down throughout the state. They were putting some very impressive dunks down in warm-ups. And I'll tell you what, I always, as a fan, you watch that and you think, wow, that's great. But Brooklyn Center does a nice job. You got to convert that athleticism into game-like situations, and there you saw it. They ran a really well-executed play with the lob pass, and were able to get to the free throw line. They didn't convert, but well executed.
Prince misses the 2 free throws. Williams gets his first foul of the game. Cristo Ray, a nice pass inside, and now Cristo Ray gets on the board there. That was Kenton Gregory getting that basket. A nice little spin move, and the 8th grader has that one fall out, as Patterson couldn't quite get that one to go.
Well, and interesting, too, they go to Jericho Sims, the 6'9" center. He brings the ball up quite a bit. He can handle the rock.
Sims catches that one at the elbow. One dribble and kicks it back out. This is Lobley with it. Lobley with Kirkwood, gets a screen. Now tries to put it inside to Gregory. Gregory kicks it back out, and they'll reset now with Lobley up top. Sims not afraid to catch that ball far away from the hoop for a 6'9" center.
No, you can see they're going to get a post hold right there on Landon Kirkwood. Had his hand tucked in the cookie jar right there. You look at Matt McAllister, head coach for Brooklyn Center, done a nice job. And I love maybe the well-dressed coach I've seen in high school in quite a while. So very, very, very entertaining too. I had a chance to talk to him pregame. Very good coach.
First year at Brooklyn Center, coached in a private school himself last year in the conference that Brooklyn Center plays against.
Well, and there was a travel right there by Cristo Ray. You can see turnovers are a big problem. If they can get into the flow of their offense and get shots, they can execute very well. They just had trouble against high-pressured, good athletes, teams that play pressure defense, had a hard time not turning the ball over. Another thing, too, I think you'd like to see Jericho Sims try to catch that ball down by the block.
There's Kirkwood. Very athletic move right there as he got a nice little feed from Prince. Used the screen and got into the lane for an easy 2.
Yeah, and they list him as a center, but I think that's just more because he's the biggest kid on the team. He plays more of a forward role, slashing, getting to the basket.
Well, another thing we're seeing in high school basketball, maybe even at the college level, we're not seeing as many low post centers either, are we?
No.
Sometimes the tallest guys are some of the most athletic guys in the court now.
Well, and I blame guys like Kevin Garnett, Dirk Nowitzki, Tim Duncan, those kind of guys, because their ability to step out, pick and pop, and shoot that perimeter shot, you really don't see a true low post center. But in a game like this, when you got a guy like Jericho Sims at 6'9", athletic, get on the block where no one could guard you. You know what I mean? So you got to find ways to get him the ball in scoring positions.
Kirkwood misses the 3-pointer. Kirkwood, a senior for Brooklyn Center. Prince, a junior, and then a lot of youth after Kirkwood. So there's Sims, and there's a nice little leaner in the lane right there, getting his first bucket of the night.
Yeah, and I'd like to just see him be more aggressive. You see how he's kind of tentative, even shooting that. He's got great touch for a kid with his size, able to get one step with that floater from about 15 feet. Not an easy shot.
Sims averages 18.8 points per game. Now here comes Prince, nice up and under, draws the foul, get back to the free throw line where he's 0 for 2 tonight, but takes a nice little ball to the hole there. And Prince, who's the second leading scorer on Brooklyn Center, will head to the free throw line.
Yeah, and you can see in transition here, Joe, I mean, they're a load to deal with. They got three guys that all attack the rim, and they're athletic, that can finish. And if they get any chance to run like that, that's when they are a dangerous team to play against. They're hard to defend. It's hard to defend teams that are athletic that can finish at the rim the way Brooklyn Center does.
Akpati was called for his first foul. And Prince still struggling from the line here tonight, 0 for 3 on the evening. Coming into this season, or into this game rather, Prince is 14 of 20 on the year, so he's not really struggled to this extent here tonight, 70% on the year, and now he knocks down his 4th attempt. 1 for 4 on the night now, and he gives Brooklyn Center a 5-4 lead. Now a nice little steal for Prince on the careless pass. Now Patterson will set up the offense. Up top to Kirkwood, he'll try 3. Misses by a long shot.
Buckle up.
And here comes Sims. He just got that ball knocked away there and prevented Sims from getting on the sports jam.
Well, pretty impressive that your 6'9" guys that fast with the basketball, too. They outletted it to him, so he's definitely capable of running the break. And that time, if it weren't for some quick hands, he might have had a highlight reel dunk.
Gregory throws this one away. He was trying to find Narconi on the other side over there. And Winston Kirkwood on that little kind of weave action that they've perfected up top there. Here comes Prince coming up over the top of the screen, and he has that block. That shot blocked. I thought it was clean, and he's going to go to the free throw line anyways.
Well, Gregory, that time I thought he had a great challenge on the jump shot. Anytime you get that hand extended down, Joe, and you get some body on a jump shot, that's an easy call for the referee. I always teach my kids, you never foul a jump shooter, right? You just get a hand, contest it, but you never want to give up a foul, especially with a kid like Prince, who's a scorer who can shoot, struggled a little bit, missed a few free throws, to give him a chance to get back to the line here, get his rhythm.
Gregory's first foul, team third. And Prince knocks down those two, so now he's hit 3 in a row. 3 for 6 on the game. It seems like Prince at the free throw line has been the biggest offense to talk about here so far in this game, and it's the reason why the Centaurs are leading 7-4.
Yeah, and I like what they're doing offensively. Coach McAllister, that when you got 3-4 athletic guards like that, it's a dribble weave, and it really, John Calipari at Memphis a few years ago, when he had Derrick Rose and a couple athletic guys, really kind of came up with that offense, and what it does is you get great spacing, and you get your guards, come off that handoff, and they're attacking right there, and you get good angles, and it doesn't allow a defense to switch. It puts a lot of pressure on perimeter defense, and I like that philosophy, especially with the personnel that Brooklyn Center has.
It seems like, Ryan, you're giving players the basketball where they kind of want it to. It seems like players want to catch the ball kind of towards the top of the key now, too.
When you think of traditional offense are down screens, right? Well, how many guys like to come up going away from the basket? This way, you're coming off of a dribble handoff, attacking the basket already.
Jericho Sims getting double teamed in the corner, and he was able to find an open guard in Lobley. They got it back down low, and unable to finish down there was Gregory. Here come the Centaurs the other way. Kirkwood, nice no-look feed, and a missed layup on this end by Togar Karn.
How about the no-look feed by Kirkwood, the center again? We've seen both centers really kind of lead the fast break. He was looking right at us, Joe, when he made that pass. Excellent pass, unable to finish.
I had my hands ready. I thought I was getting the ball. Karn just missed that that layup rather. Would like to have that one back. Patterson now goes back up top to Prince. Prince puts it on the deck. To Lane he goes, and the English and in.
Wow.
Prince showing his ability to get to the hole. That's his first field goal of the game, but now he has 5 points, leading all scorers.
Well, he's 6'3", but he's long. He's got long arms. He got in a quick first step.
Wow. Kirkwood, rejection inside. Narconi thought he had an easy bucket. Now a three-pointer and an air ball. Sims will grab the rebound. Boy, they say Sims stepped out or bounced the ball out, rather.
Watch this block. Excellent pass. Full pass there, but watch Kirkwood go up and just pound that against the backboard. Very athletic players, like we talked about.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of hang time there because he swung the paddle at that one. Pickford to inbound. This is Togar Karn handling the ball. Karn to the hole, lost it on the way up, and got his own rebound, and that tip couldn't go either. So Karn 0 for 2 on that trip down the court. Here comes Sims on the floor to the glass and in.
That's
Sims.
what you like to see.
Well,
you get the feeling, Joe, he could do that whenever he wanted to right there, right? He slowed it down. Defense didn't have a chance to get set up to help, and I mean, that's 1-2 dribbles, long, lengthy strides, able to finish right at the rim.
How about that kind of control with the length? I mean, you don't see. I know we're seeing it more and more often, but I still think that's a pretty special ability right there at 6'9". Like you said, 2 steps into the hoop.
You may see that on the NBA level, but to see it in high school basketball is very rare. And you can see, and then you take a look at the Pumas, their last 2 games. They beat West Lutheran and lost to Heritage Christian 48-73, and there you get a good look at him, 6'9", and I can tell you, being courtside right here, he's every bit of that with long arms, but really impressed with his handle, his ability to handle. We've seen him bring the ball up, and that time he goes coast to coast, and that's not an easy thing from a coordination level, just from everything that goes into that. That's a special talent.
9-6 lead now for the home team, the Centaurs. Sims now with 4 points with that last bucket, cut the lead to 3. Now a drive and a nice left-handed finish in the lane from Quintrell Douglas. He's one of the talented youngsters on this team, only a freshman.
And averaging over 6 points. He doesn't play a ton, but very capable. There's another athletic block.
The extra pass didn't help because Pickford pinned that one against the board. Now a three-pointer off long. Centaurs clear the rebound on the missed shot from Lobley. And back the other way come the Centaurs, and Pickford will get a chance to earn 3 points at the free throw line with the and one.
Yeah, and I can tell you, Brooklyn Center, what they are really good at, Joe, is they turn a miss, a defensive rebound, into transition very, very quickly. And again, another beautiful no-look pass from Karn, and I believe that was Pickford able to finish with the contact. They're very good in transition.
And Pickford has 5 points now with that three-point play. Another turnover. And Prince went up for the dunk, and Sims got called for the foul as he was protecting the rim.
You could hear the collective breath of the crowd right there as they lined that up. Devontae Prince got the steal, and you could see he wanted a chance to dunk aggressively. And Jericho Sims was lined up. I mean, that was exactly what everyone here came to see. And it looked like a pretty clean block, but the referee says there was some body into it.
For Sims, it's his first foul of the night. Prince, another trip to the free throw line.
Man.
And this one's in and out. So 4.
Now they're going to get a lane violation. He's going to get to shoot that one over.
His 8th free throw of the night. That's like LeBron Kobe-like numbers in the first half.
I'll tell you what, hats off to Prince. He's attacking the basket. And you know, as players, you adjust to how the game's being called. And good for Prince is recognizing that with his length and athleticism, able to get to the basket, just unable to finish at the free throw line.
5 team fouls, and 4 of them have been on Prince. On the defensive rebound, stepping out of bounds on the near side was Akpati. So,
well, and you're seeing it too. You know, with Cristo Ray, they're unable to even get shots down on the other end. Handling the full court pressure we thought might be an issue and a challenge for him, and so far it has been.
Kirkwood tries the fadeaway, misses short on that attempt, and then Kirkwood intercepts that pass. Not a wise pass there made by Lobley, and here comes Kirkwood, and he gets blocked. Boy, it's a block show here tonight as Gregory knocks that one out of play.
Well, that was a heck of a ball fake by Kirkwood just to get to the basket. And I think he thought maybe he was home free, and Gregory came over and pounded it out of bounds. Some very athletic, dynamic blocks so far here tonight.
Three-pointer from the corner. Nope, not a three-pointer, a 2, but still a good-looking outside shot from Quintrell Douglas.
Yeah, really set up by Karn there with a beautiful crossover to get into the paint. Defense had to collapse, and you get some unselfish players looking for his teammate, finds an open shooter, knocks it down.
17-6 now, biggest lead of the game for the Centaurs, 11-point lead. Cristo Ray trying to answer. Carlton Gregory misses that one in and out. And back the other way come the Centaurs. Quick pop from Pickford. And Pickford has 7 now.
Yeah, nice pull-up from the mid-range, too. It's such a lost start in today's game. Guys either try to get it.
Sims wisely throws it off Patterson as he was trapped.
You know, and that's the way you can't do. You can't lift the ball, pick your dribble up right at half court there, and there's the mid-range jump shot. I love that. So many guys either try to over-penetrate where they try to get to the rim or they pull up from 3. That time Pickford just took what the defense gave him, pulled up in rhythm. And I'll tell you, if you're Cristo Ray right now, you're just talking, Joe, how do we get out of this pressure? How can we beat this pressure, get into our offense? They got to find a way to get Jericho Sims involved offensively. He's only taken 1 shot tonight, and he made it. They got to find a way to get him the ball.
At this point, they're just not getting good enough guard play to get him their offense set.
Well, and really their best guard play has come from Sims himself bringing the ball up.
Sims, a very talented player, being recruited by a lot of Division I schools. Actually comes from a very talented family. His dad played basketball for the Gophers. He's got 3 older brothers that all played Division I sports. One brother that Dominique Sims, who people probably remember played football at the U and was a good football and basketball player at De La Salle. 2 older brothers actually also played Division I basketball. One at Kansas State.
See, Sims catches the ball there. I'd like to see him be more selfish, if you will. He's very unselfish, able to pass the ball, but right there, he can break his guy down and pull up, and that, that's a shot I think you'll live with if you're Brooklyn Center, keeping Sims 20 feet away from the basket.
Sims will knock the offensive rebound out of bounds there. I mean, Cristo Rey doesn't get any points in that possession, but at least they get 2 shots. (19-6) now for the Centaurs. It's kind of a dangerous point of the game right now for Cristo Rey. They got to get some defensive stops and try to get back in this game a little bit. You see Patterson let that left foot slide a little bit. So Cristo Rey will take that.
No, and I think that's a really good point too, Joe. You're down 13. You still got lots of time left in the first half. Just got to start chipping away, taking it possession by possession. And even if you're not scoring, I think just getting good shots, getting good looks is a step in the right direction for it.
There's Sims driving, using the right hand on that one. Gets his own rebound now off the tip. And he'll dunk it home. That'll be good.
Yeah, he gathered himself. Very nice job, and he powered right through it. I actually thought that looked like there could have been some contact there. And that gets the crowd going. Maybe that's a spark that they needed to get Cristo Rey.
Sims has 6 of the team's 8 points. Now a 3-pointer by Prince on the opposite end. So 2 steps forward, 1 step back for Cristo Rey. 22-8, and now they turn it over. And then Williams, a young mistake right there, a freshman mistake, gets the turnover and then gets a foul.
Well, and there's a 3-pointer in Pickford, that time drawing in again, drawing the defense. Defense collapses, you kick it out to a shooter, and Devontae Prince, who came into the game averaging over 16 points, he may get that by halftime here tonight. I've been really impressed with Pickford and with Prince so far offensively for Brooklyn Center.
Prince has 11 in the game so far. He's been the most consistent scorer on the team this year for the Centaurs, second on the team in scoring, but every game he's been above 14 points per game, as high as 19. So he's always in that 14 to 19 point range the first 6 games of the year for Brooklyn Center. Patterson catches it in the wing, dribbles towards Kirkwood. Now needs some help. Finds Prince.
You see how well the floor is spaced too in that offense?
Prince falls down when attempting that shot. Now Sims tries to kick it up court, but that pass had too much mustard on it.
Yeah,
Wobbly, unable to handle it.
A lot of risk taking going on. You know, these are passes that they're high reward, high risk, right? If you do happen to complete it, it's probably going to go for a layup, but the chances of it getting through 8 or 9 guys running the floor in transition is very small. And you can see Coach Clay just pleading, guys, just hold on to the basketball, get us into our offense. Give us a chance to execute.
Kirkwood, this is a 3-pointer from the corner, and that is good. So Kirkwood knocks down his first 3 of the game.
Well, and that's a tough ask for Jericho Sims to come out and guard that perimeter shot at Kirkwood, and he knocks it down. This is a very hard team to guard, this Brooklyn Center team.
Williams takes it hard to the hole, misses, but Cristo Rey's able to clean it up on the offensive glass. It's Carlton Gregory getting an and 1 opportunity.
Well, now, again, they handled the pressure. They got a good shot, and you can see with their athleticism and their length, they can get offensive rebounds. What did Coach Clay tell us before the game? They out-rebounded Heritage Christian Academy last week by 20. He said, but turnovers were the key, and really that's kind of been the same story here tonight.
Not able to finish, but they do get the offensive rebound, as Lobley was able to keep the offensive possession alive for Cristo Rey. Ooh, nice smooth-looking middle range jumper there for Sims, and he has 8 on the game.
Yeah, he picks a spot. He can get there. He's got explosiveness. You can see how high he elevates, too, on his jump shot.
And Patterson, we see the jumper from the 8th grader right there, knocking down his first bucket of the game.
How about that? Patterson, 8th grade, 5'10". He's averaging almost 12 a game. I mean, look at this. I love the rhythm, the patience of that. He had patience. He was looking for his offense, taking what the defense gives. The defense backs off, and he buries it.
He's baby-faced, too. You might be able to sneak him into some of your 3rd grade basketball games that you coach.
Hey, we'll take all the help we can get.
Pressure defense again, and Lobley throws one up right there. He's trying to look for a foul, perhaps.
You see how good, Joe, they are down by the basket. That was Gregory again. If they can just get to the basket, I mean, it's like they're playing.
Gregory and Sims, the only scorers for Cristo Rey. Kirkwood just hit one from that spot earlier, missed on this one, but Prince got the rebound, and Karn missed on his first attempt, got his own rebound, then gets fouled in the second attempt.
Well, hats off to Karn, just relentless on the offensive glass there. But that's something that Cristo Rey's got to learn, you know, because Lobley, number 3 for Cristo Rey, came down. He fouled Karn when he was going back up. But when you got Jericho Sims, a 6'9" guy with his arms extended right there, you don't need one of those reach-in fouls. That's where you got to learn to play with your teammate. You got this big talent right next to you. Learn to play with that. Learn to play without fouling.
And with that made free throw, they've now doubled him up a little bit here. Karn gets 1 of 2 to go. 28-14 Centaurs. And not a good turnover there. Potty throws it away, and then on the opposite end, we get a foul on Gregory. He was going up for the block shot.
Well, that time they handled the initial pressure very nicely. A couple of nice ball rotations. They get it across half court. And what Cristo Rey's got to adjust to is Brooklyn Center is trapping that ball handler. And you got to know it's coming and knowing if there's 2 guys on you, there's obviously someone open, and you got to be able to get rid of the ball before that pressure gets on you. I think if you could say what maybe is keeping this game still somewhat close is free throws for Brooklyn Center. You know, not terrible, but it's certainly leaving quite a few points out here in the first half.
Karn back at the free throw line again, 1 for 3 so far. And once again goes 1 for 2, getting the second half. Quintrell Douglas checks back in as Karn takes a seat for the Centaurs. Potty found Gregory inside, but Gregory gets fouled before the shot.
Yeah, and that was a little bit better, you know, not allowing that double team to get up on you. You know, that's the key. You got to swing the ball and you got to attack a press. When teams press you, they want you to play fast, but if you attack them, you can get a lot of easy shots out of it. You got to make smart decisions, and you got to be aware of where those traps are coming from.
Well, it would be really nice if they trusted somebody else to bring it up and Sims could catch it lower. He goes for the 3 here, misses. And Nakpati keeps it alive with the rebound, then finds Sims. Sims goes inside, gets his own rebound. Up again, not getting the benefit of any calls inside there. Sims gets 2 attempts, but nothing can go for the Pumas. Now it's Kirkwood the other way. He misses on that difficult attempt. And now another turnover by the Pumas. The official gets in the way, and it kind of helps out the Pumas. Here comes Sims the other way. Sims trying to throw the alley-oop, back door, and a nice little lay-in to Gregory.
Yeah, helter-skelter, turnover. And that's where it's nice being 6'9". You can see right over the top of the defense. And he finds Gregory right there, throws it up for him. Much better. And again, we're back. It's a 13-point game. I mean, this is, you know, they've done a nice job here of stringing together a few possessions without turning it over.
And without picking on Cristo Rey here, right now, I mean, it's simply a game of 5-on-2. I mean, Gregory's got 8, Sims has 8. That's all the points right now. And I'm not saying scoring's everything, but also the other guys are turning it over and making mental mistakes. They need help from the other guys right now is what I'm saying.
Everyone's got to have a role. You look at all the best teams, you know, at whatever level, you don't have 5 superstars that all score 30. That never happens. You got to have a ball handler. You got a guy that you can trust with the basketball that's making smart decisions. You have your athletic, you know, scoring guys such as Sims and Gregory. But you're right, everyone's got to do their role. And I think more than anything, defensively, they got to keep stringing together some stops here to allow them to get back into the game.
Nice little leaner in the lane, too strong right there from Pickford. But again, the Centaurs keep it alive with an offensive rebound. And then we have a travel. Douglas got called for the travel as he got around the defender.
That's a tough pass to put Jericho Sims in when you throw a bounce pass at his ankles. I thought he did a heck of a job just gathering that, but having to move his feet. But I mean, there's another one. Exactly. You get a great stop defensively. You get the ball back, and here's another turnover. You know, it's a game of numbers. The more possessions, the more shot attempts you have, obviously the better chance you have to get some of those shots to go in.
Leave offense again. Pickford into the lane. Too hard off the glass there from Karn. Offensive rebound on his own miss. Now Karn has it over on the wing. He's going to take it right back to the hole, and they're going to call him for a carry.
How about Karn? He's only 6 foot. You see him go after that offensive rebound down there with guys that are much longer and taller than he is. He just went up, ripped that offensive rebound away.
We've either seen great offensive rebounding tonight or poor defensive rebounding. I'm not sure which one yet.
It's probably a combination of both. You know, listen, when you're playing against guys that are really athletic, look at the ball handling too by Sims. When you're playing against guys that are more athletic than you are, which in my case when I played was quite a bit, you had to box out. And I know it's so fundamental, it's not exciting, but if you box a guy that's bigger and stronger, what does he have to? He's got to go over your back to get rebounds. So sometimes in these kind of games, it just comes down to fundamentals, taking care of the basketball, boxing out.
Only the 4th team foul there on Cristo Ray. Sims misses that one, but a loose ball there. Scooped up by Narconi. Now they cut it inside again to Gregory, and there's going to reach
Prince.
Prince gets called for the foul. The headband is off now.
Is it me or is it pretty impressive? Jericho Sims seems to be able to shoot with either hand, doesn't he?
Well, he likes to, it seems like when he's in the lane, he uses the right, and this jump shot, he's using the left.
Yeah, I mean, that's hard to defend when you got a guy that can go, you know, both hands.
Gregory, too strong on the offensive rebound putback, and now they get a turnover, though, and then he nearly gives it back. Gregory with another offensive rebound, and finally gets it to go. Carlton Gregory, great hustle inside and persistence, leading to that bucket.
It's like he has a pogo stick. I mean, he's a very quick jumper and attacking the offensive glass. I mean, look at this, a number of offensive rebounds. 1, 2. There's a turnover right there. Gregory just, his motor, look at that, trying to make a play. Finally gets his 3rd or 4th offensive rebound, able to finish. See, something like that, to me, that's just outworking your opponent. That's just hustle.
Our statistician, little Mr. Iverson, is going to give me the total for rebounds pretty soon on Gregory, but I think he has a first half double-double. He's got 10 points. I got to believe he's got close to 10 rebounds.
I think he had close to 10 just on that possession.
And another turnover for Cristo Ray. And boy, when we came into this game and talked to Coach Clay, one of the things he said is, we'll do fine today if we take care of the basketball.
Well, and you hear every coach say that, so you're thinking, okay, you know, but when you're watching, I mean, there's just, I don't know what the number, it's got to be 15 to 18 turnovers. And again, that just, think about that, that's 15 shots you don't ever get. You know, you figure you shoot 40 to 50%, you make 5 or 6 of those, we got a totally different ball game instead.
Yeah, there's definite parallels between basketball and football, and so much of it comes down to turnovers and taking care of the ball, and you got to value each possession.
Well, and I always talk about, too, and as a coach, I've learned this more than even when I played, there's good and bad turnovers. There's some turnovers, hey, when you're trying to make the right play and it doesn't work out, you live with that. But those unforced ones, like that last play where it's a skip pass that goes, you know, 10 feet high into the bleachers, those are the kind of passes that, as coaches, it makes you wonder why coaches either go bald or gray really quickly.
And Prince again gets 1 of 2 to go. 5 from 10 for the line in the first half for Prince, 10 points, and now another turnover.
Wow, and right there, and that's a great example, is you can't catch the ball in that corner knowing you're going to get double teamed. You got to either get rid of the basketball or dribble out of that. Once these guys from Brooklyn Center with their length and athleticism, they get 2 guys on you, it's a hard ass to get the ball out of it.
Patterson misses the three-pointer. Williams, nice rebound. And here comes Narconi hustling down the court, but almost turned it over. Ball was off Patterson and will stick with the Pumas.
Well, I love that too. Patterson, again, only an 8th grader, gets a good look. He misses it, but how about his hustle back on defense stops the ball, able to get his hand off, at least take away that 2-on-1 fast break without giving up any points.
Sims trying to go one-on-one against Prince. Now the double team comes as he dribbles toward the middle. Gets it back now. Sizing up the defense. And he's going to travel on a foul called. Ooh. And Patterson came over for the help, and they're going to get him on the reach.
Yeah, I don't know. It certainly looked like he skipped his feet there, didn't it, Joe? Before that, and maybe it's because of the team that he's playing on and the role he has to take, but wouldn't you love to see Jericho Sims just bury his butt right on the block and try to feed him down low where he could just jump as high as he can, finish at the rim?
Well, and that's where I think, unfortunately, he's not getting the kind of guard play you need for that tonight here.
You know,
that's
and even when he is on the perimeter, because look, I think he can get to wherever he wants to get to on the floor.
That's going to be no bucket. I think the foul is going to come on the floor, and
that's going to be the bonus here.
That shows you the kind of ability that he has when he catches the ball in a little bit more of a dangerous position.
What's special about Sims too, not only with that height and length, but he's got that guard quickness, that guard explosiveness with his first step and his leaping ability.
Well, Prince is going to sit down here with the second foul, and it'll be interesting to see how they attack now a little bit with Prince on the bench. I'm sure Kirkwood will slide over to guard him, but Prince was playing pretty good perimeter defense off the dribble.
Yeah, I don't think you worry when you're guarding Sims about maybe giving up height because he doesn't play down low as much. I think you're better suited to have, either Kirkwood or Prince, guy that can quick move his feet, cut him off, make him shoot, 15 to 18 footers.
Prince misses the second half. Gets one point out of that trip to the free throw line. Cuts the lead to 11. Feels like the lead should be bigger than that, so good news for the Pumas, but bad news is Kirkwood gets a nice little left-handed leaner there.
And that's where that dribble handoff offense is so hard to defend. You got to be on the same page there. If you don't switch that, that's what happens. You get a easy drive to the basket, and then down on the other end, there, it looked like that was the right-handed from Sims.
I think once he gets inside the paint, he has to go right-hand. The outside is the left hand.
I'll tell you what, that's really hard to defend when you can shoot with either hand.
Patterson gets that block. Good play by Akpati. Here comes Cristo Ray Jesuit. They turn it over immediately after a nice defensive play. Karn kicks it back out now. This is Tahir. Tahir, the other 8th grader, starting on the
nice
center.
pass.
Kicks it out to Karn. And he can't quite get it to go, but look at Tahir getting the big rebound inside. Now Patterson dishes it down low to Karn. Karn's still fighting for the ball. Eventually Williams, a lot of hustle from the freshman Williams, but I think he's going to get called for a foul.
I'll tell you what, there's no question, both teams, the kids on both sides, they're playing really hard. That ball's loose. You're getting 3-4 guys down on the floor going for it.
John Williams, the freshman for Cristo Ray Jesuit, gets called for his 3rd foul. And in the bonus are the Centaurs, so it's the free throw line for 2 shots, but missing the first is Tilgar Karn. In and out on the second one. 0 for 2 from the free throw line, so it results in a defensive stop, more or less, for Cristo Ray Jesuit. Now we see Jericho Sims. Gives it up to Narconi. Now Sims, Kirkwood denies it, but they get it back. Now Sims will go to the hole and pulls up for a left-handed jumper right there and misses that one. But ball's going to stick with the Pumas.
Well, I think this is a big possession. If Cristo Ray can get a bucket out of this, get the lead down the deficit under, into single digits, give themselves some confidence here, maybe make a little run right before halftime.
And that's the other thing we haven't seen from Cristo Ray Jesuit here today is any kind of outside shooting. But a nice looking move, and finally a 3rd player is on the scoreboard. It's Loris Narcone with that nice looking layup.
Well, they had good spacing that time on offense. They took care of the ball and able to attack. Got an easy bucket.
And how about the spin move and a 3-point play attempt coming up from Quentin Douglas.
Well, he's a 9th grader. He averages over 6. Look at the dribble here. Beautiful spin move. Collects himself. able to finish with his body. An excellent play.
Quentrell Douglas showing off some of that athleticism. Part of the very exciting youth movement going on here at Brooklyn Center. A freshman getting quality minutes and putting up good points for the Centaurs. Gets the free throw to go as well.
Yeah, really, Karn and Kirkwood, you know, two of the seniors that play quite a bit, in Hightower. But there's definitely some talent coming in through this program.
And Hightower's a player who's out here tonight, so it's even giving more minutes to those young players.
Yep.
Another turnover at Cristo Rey Jesuit. Something that I'll certainly talk about at halftime as we are under a minute to go in the first half. 35-23, Ryan Iverson, Joe Moline here. And we'll see a travel on Kirkwood. Kirkwood trying to argue that he got that ball knocked away, but it clearly was a traveling. Williams will check out for Cristo Rey. And into the game for the first time for Cristo Rey is Victory George.
What a great name. That's a very good sports name.
They have a trap there, three-player trap, but they find Sims eventually. You know, Sims skips it over the top of the defense. Sims gets it back at the wing here. Puts it on the deck, spin move. A little bit long on the jumper, can't get the roll. Loose ball picked up by Cristo Rey. Three-pointer, long on that attempt from Lobley. Here comes Patterson.
Nice. Oh,
Patterson.
how about that?
Nice little move from the 8th grader.
Beautiful. He faked the behind the back there. Defense went for it. Excellent job. He's just got a nice sense to his game, a nice rhythm to his game, especially for an 8th grader.
Take a look at Patterson one more time. There. Oh, show it to him.
Beautiful move by the 8th grader.
I like it. Looks like a player who's watched some Magic Johnson tapes. Only 2 seconds. They got to get it up quick. And it's good! The first three-pointer of the game comes from Okachura Akpate at the buzzer and really helps Cristo Rey Jesuit cut into that lead and get it back to an 11-point deficit. Let's check in now with Ryan Iverson, who's standing by with the head coach, Stanley Clay.
Hi, thanks, Joe. Coach Clay, I mean, really up and down. You talked about how big of a role turnovers would be. What'd you think of that?
We got 18, not playing well. Got to cut them turnovers down. We should be in this game, but we're not getting shots right now.
How big was that last shot to get the deficit back to single digits?
You know, get us some momentum. We get the ball coming out, try to get it rolling.
Yeah. How do you get Sims more involved? I mean, more aggressive down by the basket. A lot of his stuff is coming from the perimeter.
Absolutely. We got to stop turning it over so we can take him off the ball.
Anything differently defensively going into the second half?
Turnovers.
Well, thanks, Coach. Good luck in the second half. Yeah, Joel, he summed it up. One key word, turnovers.
Absolutely right. I think Coach Clay, you know, we talked to him beforehand. He's definitely a man of many more words than that, but I think you saw a coach who was very eager to get into the locker room and talk to his players because he has some things to sort out. It's 37-26. Brooklyn Center leads over Cristo Rey. We'll be back with first half highlights and stats. You're watching boys high school basketball right here on 12 Sports.
Can you help me with this? My new dad teaches me all kinds of stuff.
Sure.
He helps me with homework.
That would be 3.6795.
Thanks.
Yep.
He helps me with my decision making.
I wouldn't use this one. Ever.
And he's even teaching me how to drive.
And that's why cars have bumpers.
I'm learning so much.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
Good one, son.
Last summer, my new dad took me on vacation. First, we went deep sea fishing. Wow!
I'm so proud of you, son.
And then we went on Thunder Shark. That was awesome! Let's go again. 3 times. I gotta say, it was pretty cool.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
Oh, not again.
Pretty much a good day for me would be people leaving their hands off of me. I'm always called names. Everywhere that I go, there's always someone calling me names, calling me gay. I've been choked, thrown up against a wall, punched. Nobody's ever tried to help me.
And the Centaurs dance line is entertaining the home crowd here at Brooklyn Center with the home team up 11 points over Cristo Jesuit. And here's how we got here. Some great highlights from the first half. A lot of athletes on the court, including this big block here from Landon Kirkwood inside, denying Cristo Rey. We've seen a lot of that here tonight. And there's the talented Jericho Sims putting the ball on the deck and scoring 2 of his points in that. Centaurs come right back. Nice little bucket there from Brooklyn Center. And here we go again. The fast break offense. Nice little finish in the lane. That's Deshaun Pickford with the finish. Nice no-look Kirkwood, but he gets denied on a block shot from Carlton Gregory. Here's Pickford again, picking his spots on the pull-up mid-range jumper. Centaurs, you saw right there after they score the bucket, they get after the full court press. There's a three-pointer, one of a couple in that first half. That's Devontae Prince. He had one of the 2 three-pointers. Jericho Sims getting a dunk inside. Patterson, there's the other three-pointer in the first half. Kirkwood hits that one from the corner. And here comes a look at Sims. Nice little backdoor feed on the alley-oop to Carlton Gregory. And here's Patterson, the no-look. Fake the behind-the-back pass, laid in for his second field goal of the half. And there's what happened last.
How big was that?
The desperation three-pointer at the end from Akpati, who had a very difficult half. Let's see if that helps his confidence in the second half. There's your first half scoring leaders. Devontae Prince had 10, but a lot of that came early in the first half.
Especially from the free throw line as well. Pickford with 7 and Sims with 11, but didn't it seem like a quiet 11 too?
It was a very quiet 11.
Gregory in double figures, a lot of those coming on offensive rebounds, second, third, fourth try even. So, I think getting that three-pointer to fall right before half, at least you have something positive to build on if you're Cristo Rey.
There's your look at your first half score, 37-26. We'll be back for more here at Brooklyn Center. You're watching high school basketball on 12 Sports.
Don't look at me. Your hair's a bit frizzy today. Oh, you should pick that up. Oh, you're such a dork. Loser. Here, let me help you with that. Oops.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Oh, look. Your crush is looking at you. Poor you.
They want to help, but don't know how.
See, no one here's gonna help you, because no one
Teach your kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
You watch Channel 12 at home. Why not on the go? Channel 12 is online at 12.tv. Watch on your phone, on your tablet. Channel 12 is your local source wherever you go. Just log on to 12.tv. Check out our videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and even watch live events via live stream. So don't wait. Stay up to date with Channel 12 and 12.tv, your local source.
An eating disorder feels like having another person inside your head. It kind of built this wall around me.
The main thing that we needed was hope.
Your age, your gender, your ethnicity. Eating disorders don't discriminate. They can strike anyone. The National Eating Disorders Association has the information and resources to steer people and their families toward the road to recovery.
Call or visit the NEDA website today for help and hope.
30 million Americans will suffer from an eating disorder at some point in their lives. The National Eating Disorders Association has the information and resources to steer people and their families toward the road to recovery.
Hi, I work at the NEDA helpline. We have something called Click to Chat, which is a live chat with someone on the helpline, and they're really able to get support.
Call or visit the NEDA website today for help and hope.
The world is online, and we're all connected. While there's a lot to explore and discover, we each need to do our part to keep the internet safe. Cybersecurity starts with you. Learn how you can stay safe online at dhs.gov/stopthinkconnect.
Back at Brooklyn Center High School, you see the banners hanging from the rafters. They would like to hang another one here, and I think they're trying to do that at the basketball level with a nice youth movement here, new coaching staff, and a lot of excitement on the Centaurs team. There's a look at some of your first half stats right there. You see the field goal percentage from Cristo Ray, 36%, not a high percentage at all, something they like to work on. The free throw percentage, only 1 for 3. They'd like to get some more trips to the line. And then the three-point attempts, despite that desperation three-pointer, their outside shooting really has not been a threat to Brooklyn Center. And that's one thing that can really help loosen up the defensive pressure from the Centaurs if they're able to hit some outside shots. You see Brooklyn Center only shooting 43%, but a lot of the turnovers in the hustle leading to more baskets, obviously. And then they are getting to the free throw line, 9 of 19. Not a very good percentage at all, but still the 9 free throws keeping them in the lead. Let's go now to Ryan Everson, who's standing by with the head coach of Brooklyn Center.
Thanks, Joe. Coach, you're up 11 there. You forced them into 18 turnovers. What do you think defensively of your team?
You know, we're in the right spots. We're playing hard. We're creating turnovers like we're supposed to do. We've also given up 16 offensive rebounds, and that's what's killing us right now. It's really frustrating when we're doing all the right things and we have all that great effort, and then it's wasted, and then we can't get out into the transition because we're giving up baskets. We have to walk the ball up the court. So the defense is good until it comes to ending the possession.
You got to finish the possession, absolutely. I thought your pressure really did a number on them. Can we expect to see that in the second half?
Absolutely. We're hoping for a cumulative effect. We know we'll give up a couple layups, but over the course of a 36-minute game, we're hoping it wears them down, continue to turn it over, get us going offensively, and hopefully we can expand this lead a little bit.
You guys will win this game big if you do what in the second half?
If we rebound.
All right, thanks, Coach. Good luck in the second half. All right, Joe, I'm going to race over and see you in a minute.
All right, Ryan, I can't wait. Excellent job. Great questions as always, and you get a good look at Coach McAllister, who we hope here from the community that he's someone to stick around and be here for a long time for Brooklyn Center, because you can see he's got something going good here. And he's got the Centaurs playing hard, which is important. You know, the cool thing about Coach McAllister, too, I think he's kind of got an East Coast swagger to him a little bit. The slick back hair, he's got a little Calipari Patino in him, and it's kind of neat to see at the high school level here. Like Ryan mentioned earlier, he's dressed to the nines. He's even got the little piece in his suit there.
Well, you can tell he's passionate, too. He's passionate about basketball. He's a guy that, when you talk to guys that are just purists of basketball, they love the game. You could tell that instantly, and I love it. Give me one thing you guys got to do better: rebound.
Hey, man.
And we talked about that, too. I mean, all those second, third chances.
I like a coach that needs to shower after the game as much as the players. He was working up a sweat a little bit. I love that.
I need it. Sometimes I need a shower after just doing the broadcasting. But I love it. He's into it, and his kids listen to him, too. He's earned their respect. He's been a head coach for quite a while and earned this kid's respect.
Well, Cristo Ray gets right back to it. And
how frustrating.
They turn it over on their very first possession.
How frustrating for Coach Clay at Cristo Ray. I'm sure he hammered those guys about taking care of the basketball. First possession, first two possessions, you get a turnover here.
Kirkwood got the layup. Now it's Sims to the lane, and Sims.
See, that's why I'd like to see more of that from him. Him attacking the basket, not settling for that outside perimeter shot, but using that length, get to about 2-3 feet, and no one's going to block his shot.
Oh, Simmons blocks Patterson right there. And back the other way come the Pumas. They'll reset a little bit when they couldn't get the fast break bucket to go. Gregory couldn't quite handle the pass from Sims, so they'll reset. You see Lobley trying to be a leader out there at the guard position, directing traffic a little bit, spins away from the defense. Lobley gets in the lane and nearly gets it to go.
Well, Lobley did a nice job at just drawing that contact and able to get the shot off, too. You know, but you talk about guard play, Joe, leading to easier plays for Sims. How about on that fast break right there? Instead of throwing Sims the ball when he's in traffic at the three-point line, that's where you want a guard to bring him, throw it up for him at the rim, let him go get a lob.
Lobley does not get the first free throw to go.
You know, when you're on the road, you're down double digits in the second half. I mean, free throws are one of the critical things. You had a great move, great body control to get to the free throw line. You got to reward yourself by knocking them down.
And especially when you know that these guys have all put in the time at the free throw line in practice and in the offseason. It's just something that you want to be second nature when it gets to the game time. Pickford getting back to that weave offense now. Prince gives it out to Kirkwood. He tries the long jumper, and a nice defensive rebound rather by Lobley. Now Lobley throws it carelessly down the court. Kirkwood back the other way. Can't get it to go. Prince tried to keep it alive on the offensive glass, but lost it out of bounds.
Well, I know Kirkwood didn't get that to go, but that was a beautiful looking move. George Gervin is sitting somewhere watching, smiling as he took 2 dribbles, finger rolled that right up there. Beautiful move. All that jelly and no toast, as we like to say, but that was a heck of a move.
Lobley looking for a screen or some help right now. Gets away from Pickford. Nice little dish into the lane, and they can't get it to finish. Good hustle on the offensive glass, though. And now Akpati will earn a trip to the free throw line. Boy, you'd really like to see them rewarded with a basket there after finally a nice little guard move there, a pass inside. Narquani just couldn't get the layup to go.
Well, Lobley, he's a 6'1" senior, number 3 for Cristo Rey. Great move baseline, kind of a no-look pass. They should have converted the layup. Instead, they get the rebound, they keep it going, and they earn a trip to the free throw line.
I mean, Brooklyn Center seems so attentive to the basketball on defense that you have to get some backdoor cuts and some things going on the backside because everyone is playing very good help team defense right now.
Well, I think when you're working that hard offensively, when you do get a chance for an easy one, you got to make it. You got to take advantage of it. Absolutely.
Akpati misses 2 free throws, and
well, I think Coach McAllister would be very happy right there. Prince, a nice box out. And that's what you do. You box a guy out, and that's what's going to happen. You're going to start getting over the back calls.
Marconi got called for the foul on the offensive push off the glass there, and now Patterson brings it down.
This is a great camera shot here, too, of their offense. You see how well spaced they are. 4 guards all around the perimeter, and it opens up so many driving lanes. I really like what Brooklyn Center does offensively.
Nice little dish inside, and Sims finds Gregory, who finds the bottom of the basket there, and he'll go to the free throw line for a chance to get a 3rd point on this trip.
Yeah, nice pivot by Sims. Look at that post feed, and you can see right there Kirkwood gambled, and a nice job by Gregory holding him off with his body. And I'll tell you what, I've been really impressed with Gregory around the rim. You know, maybe not dribbling and shooting, but around the rim, he's just got a motor on it, and he can finish. That time he made a free throw for a 3-point play. This leads down to 7.
Gregory scored 21 in the game against Pack this year and comes into this game averaging 13.4 per game. He's the 2nd leading scorer for the Pumas. Pickford puts the ball on the deck and gets the nice little floater up over the defense. They drew the center away from the ball there and was able to get Pickford into the lane. Ball gets knocked out of bounds. It'll stick with the Pumas. Akpati having a hard time handling that inbound pass. Now puts on the deck himself and tried to find Sims and didn't get the ball high enough. Prince tried to lob it up to Kirkwood, but they got the nice turnover there. Now here comes Sims. Sims pushing his way to the lane. And couldn't get it high enough off the glass. Patterson gets called for the foul.
Well, I love Sims there. One thing you're going to notice is he gets more experience, Joe, and a little bit older. See how he was fading away from the basket there, even though he got the contact. At 6'9", if he bulls his way to the basket, there's no one in the state of Minnesota that can stop him. And so rather than getting 2 free throws, as he gets a little bit older, a little bit stronger, this would be a chance for a 3-point play.
You look at Sims, too. He looks, I mean, he's kind of young looking. You wonder if he's done growing as well, because
I'll tell you what, he's 6'9", and he might be done growing height-wise, but can you imagine him with another 20, 25 pounds of muscle put on him? Being able to handle that contact a little bit with his perimeter skills. I'll tell you what, the sky's the limit for him.
You get some of those strength and conditioning coaches at the D1 level. You get some good cafeteria college food. Prince misses the 3-pointer. Kirkwood gets the loose ball and the change.
I think that's a byproduct of getting Sims to guard the perimeter. He's away from the basket. He can't protect the rim as far as defensive rebounding, and that time Kirkwood goes up way above the rim, able to finish.
Kirkwood only had 7 in the first half, now has 12 as he has 5 quick ones here in the second half, and it's now, again, a 9-point lead here. Sims, a three-pointer from the corner, long. As Lobley couldn't get that one to go. Here comes Kirkwood versus Sims, and Kirkwood went under the hoop and tried to reverse it with the left hand. Drew the foul on Sims.
Smart play by Kirkwood, knowing you have a shot blocker that wants to block your shot. He went up, used his body, tried to finish with the left-handed reverse, but took the contact, and maybe even more importantly, got a second foul on Sims. Can you imagine Cristo Rey without Sims on the floor? You know, if he were able to put him in foul trouble, they'd be a completely different team.
I think that's everyone's worst nightmare on the Cristo Rey's side of the bench there. Kirkwood knocks down the first one, gets the lead back to double digits for the moment. And Kirkwood gets both of them to go. 14 points now for the senior leading scorer for Brooklyn Center. They go quickly inside to Gregory, uses his muscle to push his way forward, misses on the first attempt, cleans up on the offensive glass.
He's got to have at least 10 offensive rebounds already in the game.
Pickford misses. Nice rebound defensively for Gregory this time. Nearly got to travel.
It's almost like they can't help but try to make that stressful pass. You know what I mean? And nice job there to not make that pass.
I'll tell you, as they go inside to Gregory.
They're going to call offensively Gregory. And I'm okay with that call. Anytime you extend that arm, Joe, it's an easy call for the referee.
Gregory should have realized that he had the height advantage. He didn't have to
just
actually go through him.
Yep.
Just go straight up and power your way through that way.
Yep, absolutely.
Good defensive positioning down low from the Centaurs in that one. So an offensive foul on Gregory.
That's his fourth, too.
That's tough. You can't imagine the game without Gregory either. And Williams will check back in. He has 4 as well. So Cristo Rey, not in foul trouble when it comes to Sims, but the other 2 big guys, they are.
Well, I'll tell you what, Gregory, they don't run a lot of offense for him. He gets a lot of his plays on offensive rebounds or driving kicks right to him. He's got great hands, and we've seen him just attack that offensive glass. So that's a big loss for Cristo Rey, having Gregory check out of the game with 4 fouls.
Well, Cristo Rey, one thing they've done a little bit better in the second half, they've gotten some stops, and when they get stops, the pressure from the full court press is not coming as often, and when you foul, you also get some pressure, and they're going to send another Centaur to the free throw line as it's Togar Karn. We've seen his ability to get into the lane, and it's been pretty impressive tonight.
Yeah, and that's where Akpati for Cristo Rey just got to play good defense. That would have been a hard shot to make anyways. And so you play good defense. Don't bail him out with that kind of a foul. Instead, you send him Karn to the free throw line, where he's a very good free throw shooter.
Well, I mean, you played basketball at some of the highest levels. I mean, you're supposed to, as a guard, kind of defend them into the lane, but bring them into your shot blocker as well, right? Let your shot blocker be the guy that...
And that's where you got to know, if you got a guy like Jericho Sims who could block anyone's shot in the state, and part of that's Jericho becoming a leader too. Hey, I'm behind you, don't foul. You know, you got to trust your big man and just play good D. If they force a shot up there, that's where Sims got to come over and just be relentless as far as blocking shots. You see how far away he is from the basket? I mean, he's 25 feet away from the basket. I'd love to get some more motion out of this offense for Cristo Rey and try to get Sims the ball down in that 10, right there is where I like they're at least looking for him.
Pumas continue to move the ball around here, look for some offense. It's Lobley with it. Akpati goes into the lane, kicks it back out to Lobley. And Lobley misses from the outside. And there's a nice little feed into the middle. Good looking play there. Driving in is Tahir, and then he gives it off. Nice looking basket from the Centaurs. Sims misses quickly on the other end, and now Williams. Williams actually draws a foul. That could have been the 5th on Williams, but instead he's going to draw a foul on Quintrell Douglas, who looked like he cleared out the rebound pretty well.
Yeah, and again, on that last shot by Sims, that's not a bad shot, but he's 6'9", being guarded by guys that are 6'3", 6'4", fading away from the basket. You talk about going straight up. He's just got to go straight up, elevate. There's no one that can even come close to blocking his shot.
Nice little up and under move there from the inside the key as Sims shows his offensive versatility.
That couldn't have been defended any better either. Dribble to his left, defender cuts him off, and he just jumped, hang in the air. Watch this, and switches hands. He wanted to shoot that with his left right there. Look at him go right to the right hand. That's just a tough bucket. Sometimes great offense beats great defense, and I think that was a case of that.
Sims has 6 in the second half now, 17 on the game. Sims high on the year this year he scored 21 on the season opener against Concordia Academy. He put up 25 against Maranatha, and he also has put up 21 in a different game as well. So he's hit 23 times this year, and he's well on his way to that here this evening against Brooklyn Center.
And don't you get the feeling, too, Joe, that if he just kind of unleashed his aggression a little bit more, became a little bit more selfish maybe in his shot selection and wanting the ball, that he could easily put up 35, 40 points in a game.
Yeah, you see some of these mild-mannered guys with all the tools and the toolkit, but then you wish they had a little bit of Mark Madsen in them or something, you know? I mean,
maybe not Mark Madsen. No, I know what you mean.
It's the quickest one I could come up with.
You mean his dancing ability, I think. We saw some of his dancing when he was with the Lakers in their championship. I'll tell you, when you're analyzing these two teams, and you look at Brooklyn Center, too, they have really good balance. I mean, they have 4 or 5 guys all capable of scoring in double figures. They got the athleticism. Of course, we've seen Prince, we've seen Kirkwood. I think Karn could be a consistent double-figure scorer. Pickford averages double figures. And then you got the 8th grader Patterson, too, averaging double figures. I like that they have 4 or 5 guys that can score anytime down the floor.
I was covering basketball over on the other side of town, as you see the nice little basket right there on the drive from Tahir.
Another 8th grader.
When Mbakwe and Bryce Webster were both coming up at the same time. And Webster was, had all the tools, right? He had a little bit more height than Trevor. He had a little bit better footwork. Now Tahir on the turnover. And the left-hand layup, no good. Prince can't get the foul. But Trevor Mbakwe had the tenacity, and he had the better career in the end because he kind of got after it a little bit more than Bryce.
Yeah. And the other thing, too, when you're young, and I say young meaning in high school, is sometimes you don't realize how great you can be. You know what I mean? I go back. I remember not thinking I could ever score 30 points in a varsity game as a sophomore. And then you get 30. I remember thinking 40 is ridiculous. Then you get 40, and then 50. You know what I mean? You don't know how great you can be until you let it go, let it loose. And I'd love to see a kid like Jericho Sims just let it loose, see what he could do in a basketball game. Because he's got all the tools.
(51-38), a 13-point lead. The Pumas trying to keep it close here. Sims into the lane, uses the right-hander, but comes up a little bit short. Nice looking rebound there from Karn. Karn tries to push the pace a little bit, lost the dribble, now gets it back. Finds Tahir, who's been hot lately, and he drains it. Tahir knocks down the three-pointer.
He's got about 7 points in the last minute since he checked in. He's on fire.
Back the other way, we see a little offensive pushback from Narconi now. It's only his second bucket of the game.
And how many of those have we seen tonight? I mean, just not a lot of drives like that where you get an easy layup. And I think that's a testament to Brooklyn Center's defense.
Tahir drives, tries to pass it inside to Patterson, then lost it. Oh, little handles from Sims. Behind the back and some pressure, and then they throw it away. Akpati turns it over again. And there's Prince giving the fans what they came here to see, a nice little two-handed flush.
Yeah, that ball hung in the air just long enough. Prince playing like a free safety role, going to steal that pass, and he saw his eyes light up. He wanted that dunk. Yeah, here it is. And when you get the guys start getting that timing, they want to get their foot down and see how far he took off from, too. That was pretty exciting.
Prince's first bucket of the second half. He really went quiet after having such an explosive start to the game. He was getting to the free throw line anytime he wanted earlier in the game. Lobley falls over, and he'll get called for the travel. Another turnover on the Pumas. A 16-point deficit now facing Cristo Rey Jesuit.
Yeah, well, they had 18 first half turnovers, and I would venture to guess they're somewhere between 8 and 10 here in the second half. So there's 20 to 25 turnovers where, you know, you're not getting not any points, but you're not even getting a shot off. You know, I really do believe, I think, you know, Coach Clay was onto it. If they didn't turn the ball over, if they were able to just get into their sets, they'd be right into this game, Joe. This, instead of being a 16-point game, we might be a 4 or 6-point game.
Kirkwood misses the long three-pointer. Prince keeps it alive, and he misses. Now Pickford inside, and Pickford's going to get fouled. Oh. Cristo Rey Jesuit a little bit surprised by that call.
I'll tell you what, both teams attack the offensive glass relentlessly. That has to be a priority. When you're playing either one of these teams, you have to put a body on them because they are athletic and they're relentless. Oh, nice pass.
Prince finds Kirkwood, he put one dribble down and then found himself a little bit too far away from the hoop there and got fouled, but felt he should have probably been able to make that layup.
Yeah, nice pass by Prince, too. I don't know how he's going to go up with it. Slid it underneath the arms there of Sims, and a nice job, too, by Kirkwood taking that strength. I thought maybe he was going to finish that one. He's got a nice stroke, too. He hit it 1-3, I think. He missed a couple, but he's been pretty good from the free throw line. He's got an excellent-looking shooting form.
Yeah, he's a perfect 4 for 4 from the line in the second half. Gets that one to go, too. .16 of the game now for Kirkwood. He had a great second half. Oh, Sims tried to go inside there and knocked away by Prince. Devontae Prince and Landon Kirkwood averaging 16 and 17 respectively coming in. That's a pretty nice 1-2 combination to have.
Yeah, and they're very similar players too, aren't they? Kind of that same height, athletic, play good defense, able to finish at the rim. Both have some pretty nice shooting touch too.
Oh, Sims in and out right there.
But to me, that was a great move. He went to the basket, he just elevated, and no one defended that. He just missed it.
The pair of eighth graders team up right there. It's Tahir to Patterson.
Tahir finding his buddy Patterson. How about Patterson too? Just, that's not easy when you're playing against guys that are.
Ooh. Gregory back into the game, gets a nice little feed right there. Creative pass by Lobley, but Gregory just didn't finish.
But yeah, that's intimidating as an eighth grader, wouldn't it be? I mean, you got guys that are really athletic, 4 and 5 years older than you, and Patterson plays like he's been playing varsity basketball for a couple years now.
You ever been around those guys that have always been shorter than everybody, but they're so good at scoring around the hoop anyways?
No, they're crafty.
Yeah, yep. He looks like one of those. He's like old school basketball.
Yep. Yeah, we call that rec league. You just got there's always that guy at the rec league that you feel like, oh, I'll guard him, and all of a sudden here comes a hook or a, kind of crafty around the basket.
He's got more ways to score than you've ever seen in your life. Well, it's a 20-point lead now, and this game not too long ago was
down to 7.
Down to 7, and just kind of got away from him, and Brooklyn Center kind of just tightened things up a little bit. And the one thing we saw is, Cristo Rey turned the ball over a lot in the first half, but Brooklyn Center kind of did a little bit too. They weren't taking great care of the basketball. Brooklyn Center really tightened up in the second half. They've been really having great possessions and good defensive stops.
Yeah, and not only that too, but I think the play of their youth, their eighth graders have played really well. We saw Tahir come into the game, score 7 points there in about a minute and a half, and Patterson having a good second half as well. And you combine, I think it comes down to guard play, and you trust Brooklyn Center's guards to handle the ball and get their offense going, and you got guys like Prince and Kirkwood and Pickford that can score for you. They're a pretty complete team.
So Brooklyn Center plays in the Tri-Metro Conference, and they have a game against Columbia Heights coming up here soon. That's going to be a good, important game for them. Columbia Heights is 6-3 this year. They also have games against De La Salle and St. Croix Lutheran in the next few weeks. St. Croix Lutheran's off to a 9-1 start this year. De La Salle a little bit down this year. They're 3-4 overall. It's kind of uncharacteristic of the Islanders, but they're one of those teams that you never know. They probably have a young team and can turn things around come tournament time.
Yeah, they're going to get better as the season goes. They're a team you don't want any piece of later in the year, especially with Coach Thorson, the way it was such a good job there. He gets those kids ready to play.
I like this though, the Centaurs too. They put Hopkins on their schedule this year.
I love it.
They play Hopkins on January 18th. And if my math in my head is right here, that's Martin Luther King Day, so that's usually a special day for high school basketball across the state where they have some good matchups and some different things going on, different tournaments, and that's a 4 p.m. game versus Hopkins at Minneapolis Roosevelt High School. So
that'd be great.
So yeah, good test for the Centaurs team if they're up to the challenge of playing a team like Hopkins.
I'll tell you what, I've seen Hopkins play twice this year, and they are as good as any Hopkins team I've seen in the last 10 years. So there's a turnover.
Kirkwood tried to tip it to Patterson, and it's one of those, if he could do it over, he could realize he could catch it, set his feet,
and then make the play. Yep. But I'll tell you, this Brooklyn Center team certainly has the athleticism to play with Hopkins. So that'll be a really good test for him.
It'll be a good test for guys like Prince and Kirkwood to go up against a player like Amir Coffey.
Well, and you talk about 8th grade, you talk about Patterson, he'll get a chance to play against some excellent little guards for Hopkins, too.
Arquani misses that three-pointer long, and here comes Kirkwood down the lane.
Oh,
he just misses the highlight finish.
I thought he was going to try to ram that one home right over Sims, but he had a great move. He tucked it under and just missed it.
Lobley to the lane, hard off the glass, in and out. Kirkwood clears the rebound, tries to go up over the top to Tahir, and things getting sloppy a little bit here. And why stop now?
Yeah.
Kirkwood gets the Prince, the Kirkwood!
Yeah. That was a nice play. You can tell Kirkwood wanted that. He gave it up early, and Prince heads up, threw it right back to him, and Kirkwood finished it. I'll tell you what, Kirkwood's head again was above the rim there.
Layup on this side from Arconi, and that's one of those, hey, that's the risk-reward defense right there. They're going to give up some layups once in a while, but they're getting way more turnovers.
Yeah, and look at, it's takeoff. Houston, we have takeoff. Beautiful pass. And you can see Kirkwood setting it up the whole way down, too. And look at him go up and get that. And actually, could have been a foul call, I think, too, on that play.
Gregory could have been out of the game.
Yep.
I don't know why you wanted to get in that poster shot anyways.
Yeah, that's exciting basketball.
Well, that was pretty cool. So, the benefit of some of those turnovers is we get to see some highlight action on the opposite end. 20-point lead for Brooklyn Center. Things looking good for the Centaurs. Talk a little bit about this Cristo Rey Jesuit school. Who are they? I know I had to get out the old Google machine, figure out who these guys were, because I hadn't heard of them, and I've been around the high school sports scene for quite some time, so they're new to me, and it's a pretty interesting story. They're a Catholic school out of South Minneapolis. It was an idea that came out of Chicago where they could have this private school for inner city kids. Maybe can't afford the private school education, but what they do to earn that tuition is actually do community service. They've teamed up with companies like Ryan Companies, Delta Airlines. I mean, all the big players in town, these guys go have jobs at those kind of places. So it's building connections, building work experience. These guys actually put forth time and effort. They only go to school a certain amount of days, and then they go work other days, get that work experience, and then that's how they earn their tuition. It's pretty cool.
And you were telling me before the broadcast, too, their graduation rates are
100%. 100%. Absolutely perfect.
They either place people in college or in the military, and so that's...
in the 8 years of existence, they've graduated every single student, and every single one has went on to some kind of college, training, or military. So pretty cool.
That's pretty awesome.
And on top of that, they have a beautiful new facility. The Ryan Companies in town built them a brand new building in the Phillips neighborhood in Minneapolis and partnered up with them, and it's a pretty good experience for these kids. Williams catches the pass from Sims, and it's a 22-point lead right now for the home team Centaurs. Sims catches at the top, draws a foul, no shot. In the NBA, that's a three-point play.
Well, I think you can see Brooklyn Center is arguing that Sims pushed off with his offhand there. To no avail. He's going to get to the free throw line here, shooting 1-on-1.
I would think it's hard not to push off just a little bit. I mean, you got to get away with something when people are invading your space.
Especially when you're 6'9", you feel like these gnats are coming at you, right? You just want to get off me once. Yeah, no, it's absolutely. He's got a nice shooting touch, though, doesn't he?
I want to see him catch one ball in the paint from the back to the bucket, though, and see what he can do. I just want to see a. I mean, and I'm guessing that's what some of the colleges probably want to see, too. He's being recruited by a bunch of D1 schools, but I would think that some of them would like to see on tape, him catching the ball on the block a little bit.
What I'd like to see is what his role is like during summer basketball, during the AAU, when he's maybe playing with a little bit more talent around him, how his game adapts and changes.
Well, and you probably see more AAU basketball than I have. I used to go watch a bunch back in the day, but it seems like even in those games, you don't get a lot of half-court offense sets. You know, I mean, there's a lot of talent on the court, no doubt about it, but you're not playing the kind of basketball that they're playing in the Big Ten when the Big Ten season goes around.
You're not playing set plays and a lot of that stuff, but you're usually at your natural position, and you're going against other guys that are similar in height and athleticism. What a move!
Tahir has really showed off some talent here in the second half. He's having a great second half for the Centaurs.
Well, on the play before that, Patterson had another nice bucket too, so the 8th graders are really playing well.
Gregory gets fouled on that inside attempt. And Gregory will go to the line for 2. Gregory, things kind of fell apart a little bit when he got into foul trouble and had to sit down too. That
was right around when it was at 7-9 points still, right?
Kind of in the game there, and that's when kind of things got difficult, when the two-headed monster from Cristo Jesuit got cut in half a little bit for a little while, and that kind of made things difficult for this young Pumas team.
Yeah, he's got 16 tonight, going for 17.
Ball will stick with the Pumas now, 6:14 to go.
I'd like to see him attack right there before the defense is allowed to get set up. He's got that nice little 1-2 dribble into that left-handed jump shot. He's smooth. He's like we talked about all broadcasts. He's going to have potential to be really good.
Tahir misses that one. Gregory goes to the deck after the defensive rebound, finds Lobley. Oh, and Kirkwood denied us a nice little Showtime dunk, perhaps.
And you can hear the crowd just sighing, too. They saw it coming, too.
Ooh, Bickford misses that one. Now Sims catches it out. Nice little pass to Williams. Williams and a good pass inside to Gregory, and Gregory will get the foul call.
Yeah, nice job by Williams to not only catch that, but not travel as well. And he dropped it off to Gregory. Gregory's going to get another trip to the free throw line.
It'll be a foul on Deshaun Pickford.
His 4th.
Gregory short on the first attempt.
His free throw looked pretty nice. The first one he shot a couple times ago, and then the last 3 were a little flat, a little short.
Tahir gets the reach in.
He's going to earn a trip to the free throw line as well, as we're already in the bonus.
Tahir's going to go to the line, and Gregory is going to go to the bench. He is fouled out. Nope, not Gregory, sorry. My fault. They got the reach called there on Victory George.
Yeah.
You gotta start popping on more kids. You got some new ideas for names.
I need a kid named Victory Iverson. Do you think, here's the question, Joe, are we gonna get a monster dunk from Sims before the game is over?
I don't know. I think the Centaurs play too tough. They're not letting him into the lane at all. And Gregory catches that one right there and puts it back in.
And again, when they don't turn the ball over, they get a shot, and they have just the ability to go after the offensive rebounds. It's just been their turnovers tonight that's really killed them. And I think that's half on them, but also a testament to Brooklyn Center's defense. Really good pressure defense.
They called for the double dribble. I don't know. There was a little hesitation. Right hand came up and touched the ball there. Double dribble called on Tahir, and it's the Centaurs don't look like a fun team to coach against. You know, I mean,
No.
they're just so athletic. They're all up in your business. You know, he's kind of modeled. I mean, I'm not saying he stole it from De La Salle, but their opponent in their conference, De La Salle, has been winning championships doing exactly what they do.
Nice
tall, athletic, big guys, and
quick guards
that get right in your face defensively.
No, you got to really be disciplined when you play Brooklyn Center. Ball fakes, shot fakes, handle the ball. Don't allow them to trap you.
Prince will pull up. Nice little crossover pull-up jumper.
I'll tell you, we saw a lot of him early tonight in the game, and then we haven't seen as much from him, but I like his game. And he does a little bit of everything. Obviously a very good scorer, averaging over 16 points per game. He's tall, lengthy. He's had the assignment tonight, most of the night, to guard Sims as well.
14 in the game now for Prince. And he gets the defensive rebound as well. Devontae Prince, one of the key members of this Brooklyn Center team. Inside to Kirkwood, who strokes the baseline jumper.
Yeah, he's got a nice rhythm to his jump shot, too. And that's a tough guard, too, I think, for Sims to come out on a guy like Kirkwood who can shoot from the perimeter like that. Oh, Gregory's just dominant.
He's hitting the offensive glass, that's for sure, and he's getting a couple of buckets to go with it.
Whoever's guarding Gregory, whenever they play them, you got to put a body on him.
$20 in the game now for Gregory. And Kirkwood from the corner. No good, but Pickford keeps the offensive possession alive with that board and gets it the layup and in.
You know, that's where you'd like to see Sims hustling down there to be a shot blocker, right? To kind of deter those kind of easy baskets. Right now, it just seems like both teams maybe a little bit tired playing this kind of frantic pace all game long. It takes its toll on you.
You got to inject Sims with a little alpha male. And then that'll be the all-around player that you're looking for.
Yep.
They're going to go for the alley-oop. And the pass was a little bit off. Prince and Kirkwood eyeing each other up right there.
That would have been a heck of a completion. There you see Prince throwing it ahead. I don't know if that was going to be a reverse or if it had to be a reverse because of where the ball was, but
forced him into the reverse.
That would have been a heck of a alley-oop. Boom. Nice job, too, by Sims there, showing his ability to hit down the long perimeter, and you see Pickford with another bucket. Again, he's one of the four for Brooklyn Center, averaging in double figures. He's a nice player, too. Only a junior, so he'll be back next year. I think the future is super bright for Brooklyn Center, not only this year, but for future years to come.
Well, and then the thing about Brooklyn Center, too, is you start winning, you start making it look fun, you'll get a lot more kids out for the basketball team, too. That's what they always said was the struggle here with the football team, too, is they always had great athletes, and the kids had fun that play, but if they could win a little bit more, have a little more fun, show everybody else how fun it was, they could get more kids out, and that was the biggest challenge. They got the athletes roaming around the halls usually.
I'll tell you, I think their style is really appealing. It's fun to watch, and you know, the way they spread their floor out. Coach McAllister, what he's done offensively, I love their principles. I love that dribble handoff offense, great spacing. They get everyone involved, so everyone's getting shots. They play up-tempo, full court. I mean, what's not to really like about their team?
Karin crosses him over and then gives it off to Victory. Nice move by Karin, up and under, and off the glass and in.
Doger Karin, what a move. We talked about that old rec league type of move. That was it right there, the old ball fake, and then went right under.
Absolutely. Sims, turnaround jumper in the lane, that one's good.
Well, I like that he's been more aggressive here in the last couple minutes.
That's the shot that's unguardable right there. When you use the little turnaround, that body gets the push
space,
off.
Yep. He creates space, and he really elevates, too, on his jump shot. So there's not going to be anyone that's going to be able to challenge that.
21 in the game now for Sims. Gregory gets the block. Williams gets the loose ball. Off to Gregory. Gregory runs into some trouble. Williams on the deck to keep it alive. We'll have a jump ball. Possession arrow, Brooklyn Center.
Oh, you love Williams. Look at that, getting on the floor. You're down 21 with under 15 seconds to play, still playing hard. That's what you love to see. You love to see these kids. I thought both teams tonight, Joe, really played hard. I mean, they were on the floor, they were diving. The pace was pretty frenetic, too, and it was a fun game to watch.
Well, for Brooklyn Center, their next game will be in a conference matchup against Columbia Heights. And for Cristo Rey, they will play Minneapolis Edison in their next contest in a non-conference game. So it's a 78-57 final. The home team wins by 21 here tonight. Ryan, put a wrap on this one.
Yeah, a lot of fun. Exactly kind of what we thought. We got to see some great individual talent. Jericho Sims played great. Carlton Gregory had a great game for Cristo Rey. And I thought really 5 or 6 guys all played really well. Obviously you had Kirkwood and Prince, and I thought Pickford had a big game. Karn played well. And how about Patterson, too, the 8th grader? I thought he was critical to handling the ball, getting them in the flow of their offense. They're going to be a fun team to watch. We're certainly lucky to have them in our area and be able to cover a couple of their games.
All right, Ryan, thanks a lot. We'll be right back now. We'll hear from some of these Brooklyn Center Centaurs, the winners here tonight by 21 over Cristo Rey.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt. There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt. There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
And we're back at Brooklyn Center now with some of the big-time heroes for the Brooklyn Center Centaurs in this game here tonight. Landon Kirkwood, we'll start with you first. A nice little game for you. It kind of got off to a slow start for you. In the second half, you really picked it up and helped the Centaurs pull away.
Yeah. I can't really take all the credit in that half. We all played great, team defense, and we all played well in the second half.
It seemed like you guys were frustrating the opposition here tonight, the Pumas, with that pressure defense. You were really causing a lot of turnovers. Is that a kind of a fun defense to play for you guys?
Yeah, we like to get up and down because we're real athletic, and we live on the break. So if we can get those steals, we shine on the break.
And you just got a attempt there at the end. He threw up an alley-oop to you. It kind of got behind you a little bit. Was that, we were joking on the offset there, was that going to be a reverse, or did the ball kind of make you put that reverse position?
Yeah, the ball made me reverse, but that's just with chemistry. We'll get it down at some point.
All right, so it's senior year. Centaurs are off to a good start here. Only 2 losses on the young year. What's the goals for this team this year in your senior season?
My senior season, our main goal is to go to state. And that's all we talk about, and that's all we're going to focus on.
Do you remember a time in your career where you have a team that you feel as confident as you do right now?
I I don't think so.
All right, and then last question here. You have a couple of exciting games coming up. You're playing teams like Hopkins. You also have big conference games against St. Croix Lutheran and De La Salle. What are you looking forward to here in the next month?
Just my team, keeping us together, getting all the guys back, and, just making sure that we stay healthy and, take it one game at a time.
All right, congratulations. Great game here tonight on the big victory. We'll talk to Devontae Prince now. Devontae, you also had a great game here tonight, and you came on strong in the beginning. You were earning your trip to the free throw line. What were you able to do early on in the game to get yourself to the free throw line and get your team started offensively?
Well, I was pushing the momentum and picking up guys. I'm a hustle player, and when they see me hustling, then I get everybody else going.
Offensively, you guys were having a little bit of fun there. It looks like you guys can get up and down the court. Is it fun to play as an athlete yourself with the kind of athletes you have on your team?
Yeah, pretty good. Everybody athletic on our team, but we still got a lot of things to work on.
How about the kind of pressure defense you guys are playing? It creates those fast break opportunities, and you guys seem like you like those kind of offensive opportunities.
Yeah, it's great. It's great, but we still got a lot of work to get to it. But we still working and getting better on it. But we got to execute more.
You had a very tough defensive matchup. You're playing against a talented player like you were here tonight, and you stepped up the challenge. You took that challenge on. What was that like for you?
It was really fun playing against a great player like Jericho, but it was hard. We helped defend, playing strong. It was great.
Well, congratulations. You guys both played excellent tonight. The Centaurs get a big victory over the Pumas here tonight at Brooklyn Center, and the Centaurs now move to 5-2. Well, for the entire Channel 12 crew, for Ryan Iverson, I'm Joe Moline. Thank you for watching, and Happy New Year.